Welcome back to the Drone Gear Recovery Podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Kevin, and today's a special episode of the podcast. What you're seeing is the show booth that we're going to be at Expos at starting this next week. We talk about everything in this podcast.
We talk about a lot of things like agricultural drones, possibly meeting you guys, how to set up your thermal drone business, what the market looks like.
New drones from DJI, how to meet us, what we're doing at shows, a lot of good stuff, so don't want to miss it.
Check it out. Today we're going to talk about all kinds of different stuff. I don't exactly know what we're going to get into.
It's a special episode.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about Expos because it's Expo season. We're actually getting ready to leave tonight to head to
start the tour.
St. Louis.
Yeah, Missouri, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Starting off with a bang. Yeah, we're going there at 8 o'clock.
That's the ATA show. Yeah. So that show is not technically open to like consumers. Right. I think it's mostly
trade only. Yep.
What is it?
Trade only. You got to pay to like a lot to be there as a not only an exhibitor,
just to get in. I think it's like $300 some bucks.
Yeah,
just to get in
without even having a booth, just to be able to
just to get in.
But
so that's where we're starting. We're gonna head over there tonight. We're flying out of Cleveland, and then we'll arrive over there sometime this evening, and we'll be at that show. This goes up on Friday, so when this goes up, we'll be there. If anybody there at the show is listening to this or watching it, see if you can find us. I'm sure we'll have some drone merch on or whatever.
Yep. And looking forward to making connections. You know, we've been through email and phone calls, a bunch of different brands, talking sponsorships and stuff. Yep. But I think like face to face, just making real connections is probably going to be the highlight for me of this whole trip. This is what makes it worth it.
Yeah, this show specifically.
This show,
networking is what we're focusing on there. We wanted to show you guys this today on the podcast, just to give you an idea if you guys are coming to the show, what you can expect to see Drone Gear Recovery showing up in. Obviously, it moved big time from what it was when I first started out. All I literally had at the Expo, my very first Expo, at the Mount Hope show, was a table like that over there, just a table with a cloth over it. Yep. I had an old Mac desktop that I used for the screen, and then
no backdrop or anything. It was just a...
No. Well, actually, I had a white...
kind of a curtain thing?
Yep. And it very, very basic. Mm-hmm. But 15 months later... I mean, look what we're rolling up in. And it's because of you guys, supporting, the technology in the hunting industry. A lot of people, coming, buying drones from us, supporting us with buying merch and all that type of stuff that has made this possible. And obviously, our slogan or what we want to do here at Drone Gear Recovery is help, lead, and educate. Mm-hmm. And by doing that, the reach that we've already gotten on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok really is what is... elevating this.
Yeah, and that mission, right? The help lead educate that you mentioned, that's why we're going to shows, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we'd love to, show up. We'll sell you a shirt, merch. We got these awesome new hoodies that are next level quality.
Oh, they actually are next. Oh, no, they're not next level, but no, I meant like a brand.
The brand, they're better than next level, actually.
Yep.
But no, it's like, because I was thinking about it, we're going to be in Indiana, Pennsylvania. These shows, they cost money, they cost, time. Yep. And we're going to be in states where we're not even providing the service.
Yeah, us personally.
Yeah. But, there's pilots, like in states like Pennsylvania where there's a whole thing, whether it's legal or not. Our goal is to help provide education. So hunters, pilots, conversations with, game wardens, DNR, anything that we can. Yep. To help bring awareness to the ethical use of this technology.
Yeah, and another thing is a lot of people, right, like you watch it online, that's one thing. But when you can literally come and you physically see it, like you see these drones, you see the big ag drone up top, like you start seeing this stuff, it becomes more real. Yeah. Because I was just down in Tennessee, did a herd analysis down there for a guy, and a guy was watching because all his buddies came out, because that's usually what happens when you start flying a thermal drone. They tell their buddies and everybody comes out. And so that's what happened. This guy came out and he's like, this is what I needed. I needed to see it in person to know how good it is, because you can watch all the, hundreds of videos that we produced on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all those platforms. But when you literally see these drones fly and the quality of image that is coming through. Like sometimes I feel like the quality is lost by putting it on YouTube and stuff, but it's like it just makes it more real when you see it in person.
I mean, and even I'll just say, even like, I helped set up the booth and everything, but even just walking in and you see this 11, 12-foot drone sitting atop it, it's like, man, that thing is big.
Well, and it's good that you bring that up, because it's like when you watch it on, or for like instance, like that picture back there, that is an actual drone flying, but the fields are so big, you don't get the feeling and of how big these drones are.
It's hard to know if you're like, 20 foot, 50 foot, 100 foot away from the drone. Yeah. So it's nothing like seeing it, next in person. And with the ag side, that's the thing that we run into all the time, right? When farmers don't have the experience in education, it's like, are these legit? Or are these semi-play?
Well, exactly.
Like my grandson has a drone.
Yep.
I don't want to use that.
Yeah,
to
exactly. And when you hear drone, right, like because we haven't been educated in the farming space, the hunting space, how this technology works, it just doesn't make sense yet.
Yeah.
Like. For instance, I just read something this morning. There is big drone delivery companies in the state of Texas already delivering products from Walmart in, I think it's the city of Austin, but nobody really knows about it because we're not really into that, technology, that type of thing. And this is the same way. Like, this is here to stay. Yeah. Now we want to educate you. We want to show you these drones if you're a farmer or a hunter, that, these thermal drones or these agricultural drones, they actually are capable of doing large acreage. Once you see it, you will believe it.
Yeah, 100%. You had known about the new DJI drone.
Yep.
I saw it for the first time. Like, they posted it on their social media this morning.
Yeah.
It's called the Flight.
It's the Flight Cart 30.
Flight Cart 30.
Yeah, basically, it is a T40 frame, and the reason they call it a 30 is because it's going to carry 30 kilograms. It can carry 40 kilograms, is what the T40, but there's probably its cushion, right? They don't want to max it out or something. Or
maybe it's like FAA regulations, or who knows?
Who knows? But like that drone, I'm telling you, like it's coming. Like in the mountains and stuff where, for instance, I seen them carrying solar panels up a mountainside with these drones. That's going to be
I mean,
thing.
I've heard you talk before about even just getting these shingles onto that roof, that big commercial roof. Yeah. Like why are we using guys on ladders?
Yeah.
To like some people have like rigs and stuff for it, but just to fly a drone from the ground, take 100 pounds of shingles over there.
That would be pretty wild.
That would be wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it could happen. I mean, it's not that far away.
Oh yeah. Oh,
it will happen.
It will happen.
Yeah.
It's not if it's happening, it's when it's happening, for sure. So agricultural drones are probably the biggest industry that we see developing in the next 5 years, right? We've been telling you guys that we're going to show you guys a new trailer that we're building and getting you guys set up. It's coming, but we want to make it, the very best way we can. Yeah. And me and Kevin were talking yesterday. You just don't want to release it.
Yeah. You don't want to release it till it's right. And we feel bad, right? Because it's like, it's like this trailer, we've been alluding to it. We've been developing it for over 6 months now. I mean, for a long time. Yep. And, you and I went out, looked at what's the prototype, and, we have a couple of these in production. And it's like, okay, yeah, this has got to change. We got to add this. And until it's ready, until it's like what we would want to use when we go out and spray a couple, tens of thousands of acres, it's just... we're not ready to sell it yet.
Not yet.
But I will say this week, tremendous progress, I'd say.
Yeah.
There are some
with a big manufacturer.
Big manufacturer.
Yep.
Because our biggest problem, with using DJI, you can see the curve of what's happened nationally. Yep. When drone season comes or thermal season comes, and now everybody is seeing the content and they want to do this themselves. There's a huge spike in demand that coincides with the hunting season. And even a company like DJI, not prepared to deal with it. Yeah. They weren't able to deal with the demand.
Yeah. You're talking on the
thermal
side.
So
let's talk about that a little bit, because I think we got to be completely honest with our viewers and our customers about how frustrated we were with that, and we still kind of are. Like I was talking to you yesterday about getting drones.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard? To get these drones? And it's because the market, and not just here in America, just in general all over the world, there is a high demand for these drones. So not having them when people want them.
Oh, the most frustrating experience ever for our customers. And then for us, it's frustrating too. But all that to say that on the trailer side, one of the things that's important to us is finding a manufacturer that can actually meet demand that we think is going to be there.
Yeah.
So
and he made it sound like no big deal.
Yeah, right. Well, that's because they've done tens of thousands of trailers.
We will tell you once we do, if we end up doing this partnership with this manufacturer, we will tell you, and you guys will understand that they can do it because they have scaled trailer building nationally.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what they've done.
I think he said they had 100 dealers in their other line. And it's interesting, even like somebody who's in trailers, but a completely different industry. He's like, oh, drone trailer. That's interesting because I am reading and seeing what's happening with drones. He's like, that's going to be a whole new category.
Yep.
And so,
and again, this is not just custom applicators. This can be for farmers as well. Like a guy that has a spray rig, you are going to be able to outfit yourself with a drone spray trailer and drones and be able to do as much as you do with a ground rig and more. Like I'm telling you, and more because there's
a lot
so
more
much,
versatile.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and I think, if we're at a hunting show, like, primarily hunting are the first shows that we're going to be going to here, people might ask, well, why do you have a booth that is split between, ag and hunting and thermal if, you're at a hunting show? Why not make it all hunting? Yeah. And the interesting thing is that I think that thermal drones, what we're seeing is thermal drones. Guys, see how fun it is to fly a thermal drone. You just did a video this week that went public where you just talked to the camera. I thought it was awesome. You're like,
what was it? Me spraying the drone?
No. It was you just found a deer.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, people don't get how fun it is.
Yeah.
You go help a hunter find a carcass. Yeah. You get paid for it, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And I think that these things, like, the side gigs and the income opportunities that pilots can set up, I think there's probably a subsection of those guys that love flying drones that it's kind of like, I mean, this is a terrible analogy, but it makes me think to like back when I was in school and they would put the fear of God in you with like doing drugs and stuff. It's like pot is the gateway drug. Yeah. And it's almost like thermal drones for some guys are going to be the gateway drone into a whole career.
I mean, obviously it shows, right? Like I started out with the thermal drone.
That's exactly the journey we've been on.
I love flying. I love anything aviation. Thermal drone got me the recognition that we have right here, gave us a new opportunity to get into agricultural because agricultural, do not kid yourself. It is a lot more money to get into. More money
and more hassle and more learning.
Yes, more learning. But the opportunity to make life-changing money is a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to take away, right? Okay, so I've been getting some heat about people not making the money I did. The thing is, if you do thermal drone deer recovery, right? Like let's just pick a state. Let's say PA. If you are in the southern corner of Pennsylvania, I don't know how the hunting is there, but I'm just saying if you are in the wrong area, then it might not be as profitable as it was for me, right? Like when I started it out, we made that video, I made $50,000 in 10 weeks. Like if you think that you're going to do that exactly like I am and you're in the wrong area, it's just not going to work. So you got to also be in the right areas if you are going to do these businesses, because the reason I'm saying this is people are giving me heat because people bought into it, bought the equipment, started doing drone deer recovery, and they don't have the leads. They don't have the hunters in their area to support them with $50,000 in 10 weeks. But even if you don't make $50,000 in 10 weeks, if you make $50,000 in 2 years, that's more than you would have made sitting on the couch anyhow. If you are only doing it for the money, if you buy this drone strictly to make money, then you are starting off on the wrong foot. You have to do it because you love what you're doing, flying drones, love helping people find deer carcasses, dogs, cats, horses that get out, cattle that get out. You have to want to help people. And if you're building your business just strictly based on what I told you, make $50,000 in 10 weeks, that is what I did.
Doing something that you don't love or even hate a little bit or even resent, or don't even care about. Yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah,
it's kind of a cliche thing, but if you love what you do, you'll do it differently than if you're kind of like, wow, another call. Are you serious?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm saying all that to you guys because I do want to motivate you, and I do believe that there's money for you to be made in the thermal drone deer recovery space. But if you are comparing your numbers to my numbers, that just doesn't make sense because like there's a guy that I believe outdid my numbers, but he's in a different part of the country, and he was traveling more than I did. Yeah. So, some guys might barely make it. Other guys outdid me on what I made in 50,000 in 10 weeks. But it's just like, I'm just telling you guys, if you're buying in, if you're buying the equipment and you're making the investment, like, give it time. Yeah. Like, it might take more than 10 weeks. There's no business right now that you can go invest, between $13,000 and $15,000 and expect it to have it back in 10 weeks. Well,
and the other thing, Mike, that you were one of the very, 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 very early forerunners. You didn't spend $13,000 on a drone kit and have somebody show you how to do it.
Yeah, no, I spent $21,000 on my drone kit, and then by the time I did my first round of marketing and my building of the website and did all that stuff, I probably was right around $30,000 to $33,000 invested.
And is that counting buying the wrong drone? Because
no, it's not. Yeah, that was $8,000.
You first bought the wrong drone, and you're like, well, the concept is good, but this drone, that was I
think I lost $4,000 on that.
The Mavic 3T, bought a new whatever.
Well, no, it was a Mavic. It was a DJI Enterprise Advanced is what it was called.
Before the 3T.
Before the 3T, yep. That's what I had, and ended up selling it on eBay for a loss.
So, and we've done the same thing with ag. Like, we went out there, sprayed, tons of acres, made a ton of money. We've also bought $30,000-$40,000 drone that was the wrong drone. Yep. Spent weeks figuring out how to do it.
Bought generators we didn't need.
We didn't need. Yep. It's like,
it's testing, seeing what works.
Yeah. So all that to say, like, the market that is currently had a year in is a little bit different. You get a little bit of hand holding. You get to know what the right equipment is, but there's also more competition.
Yeah. Oh, so 100%. There's probably 100% or 1,000, not 1,000% more competition, but there is. Totally. Even just for my area. Let's just take my area that I started in. It was one drone. It was drone deer recovery.
For the entire state.
Yes. Yeah. I bet right now, I don't have all the numbers, but I bet that there is between 120 to 200 drones right here. So, yeah, I probably didn't get the calls, that I would have last year, but that's all right.
Yep. So. And we want to be transparent. Like, our goal is let's help you figure out how to run the numbers for your state. So on a very basic level, like, the numbers that you want to look at is how many deer are killed in the counties that surround you. And then, like, another good metric is how many drone guys are there around you? Do they seem busy? Do they not? Look at dogs. Are dogs, is it hard to get a tracking dog when you need one? Yeah. What are people charging around you? How many deer are killed in your state? And you kind of start putting together a financial model, a picture of, and then I'll say this: compare it to Ohio's numbers, like compare it to what we have going on here. And people, talk about we have big deer here. Ohio is a big deer state.
Yeah, like a trophy
deer,
like a lot of trophy hunters. And that's why they pay what they do.
A lot of deer in your state, but they aren't going to be as big. Well, it's probably safe to assume that people aren't going to pay as much, right? Yep. So these are all, and we need to do a better job. We're developing a curriculum to help kind of walk through, and it's going to be free. It's just going to be, here's information to help you make a decision on what's best for you. That's what we want to do. Yep. And at shows, we get to do that in person with people. You're going to come up with your specific questions, and all day long, we just get to chat with people, talk, answer questions, show them, help them, hands-on, what does a remote look like? How does it work?
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So we're talking on the side if people want to have a business and try to make income. We haven't even touched on if an individual wants to buy a drone just for a herd management or a security standpoint. Dude, I've used my drone around the farm here just to see if somebody's, walking on my property. Or another cool thing you can do with this, if you are in land management where you like set up properties for hunting and stuff, you can use these drones to find where water, like springs are coming out of a hill and stuff like that. Like I was showing the guy in Tennessee, and he's like, "Oh, I had no idea there was water coming out of."
And that's because the water is colder than the ground, or
well,
different
it's a
temperature.
Different temperature.
Yeah, I never thought of that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So if for a guy that really wants to set up his land for deer, if you can find a water source and put a little pond in for the deer to drink, like there's so many things that you can do, even just owning it as a tool in your truck for like the management side of things. I'm telling you. And security is big. There's fire departments using these things. There's police departments using these. Cool story. Guy called me out of Arkansas, and he got a call from his local sheriff department. They were looking for some convicts that got out, and the department had a Mavic 3T. I'm not kidding. I should probably put the phone call that I had on here so people believe me, because right when I talk about the Mavic 3T, people always think I'm putting it down. I think it's an all right tool, but it's not what this is. And the reason they called him, as he had a Matrice 30T, as snowing and sleeting down there and raining, and they couldn't fly their Mavic 3T. So they had him come out, and he found him.
No way.
He found the convicts a mile away from where they had last seen him.
That's so awesome.
So I'm telling you, like, that's another reason why I always talk about this drone, because I guess Carlin, our customer service, he was saying people are calling him, asking why they can't use the Mavic 3T. And my thing is this, is if you're trying to be cheap, you are going to get cheap quality and image. When I say that, the image is so different. Like, you might not think about it. If you only ever have flown a Mavic 3T and you have never flown a Matrice 30T, you won't know the difference. And then you see the content online and you look at your content and you're like, well, it looks the same. It is not. Like, if you actually fly a Matrice 30T versus an M3T, I did it right outside the shop. It's like, okay, I could probably get away with an M3T, but then I fly my Matrice 30T and I'm like, never mind. Never mind I said that. Because
so let me ask you about that. Is that like the big difference in image quality? Do you see that in mostly the zoom sensor or in the thermal sensor as well?
Both. Like, so
there's a noticeable difference in both.
Yeah. So the thermal is the same. It's a 640 camera, but if you look at the thermal size of this one versus the Mavic, it is smaller.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not collecting as much light data. I don't know how.
So the resolution is the same, but the sensor size is a lot smaller.
I think so. Yeah, because I could find deer, but it was the color that I was seeing was different, even though I had both on tint mode.
Yeah.
It was different.
So that's good information, because people, when they're trying to compare to make an educated decision, it's easy just to see the same specs on the thermal camera. And if you don't notice the sensor size, then you'd think it's the same.
Well, so the other big thing you get into the Mavic is 90% of recoveries are done at night. So you need a bright light. And I would give it, there is a bright light for the Mavic 3T, but it's bright, but then when you see the T60, it ain't nothing.
Yeah.
So if you are flying a Mavic 3T and you're trying to look at that, carcass deer at 300 to 400 feet, that light is not as bright. And by the time you zoom in with that 50x zoom on the Mavic 3T, it's so grainy, it's so blurry, you have no clue.
I will say I've seen those images out of a Mavic, and low light with that 50x digital, or that zoom, it is hard.
Yeah.
Totally different picture than.
And another thing, this has a night mode. So the camera switches to night mode, collects more light into it. It is a black and white image, but it is easier to see things if you want to use the night mode on the Matrice 30T. So there are differences. I'm not saying that just to try to put those people down. There's also people that tell me, oh, he's just saying that because they can charge less than I can. No, not a problem at all. If you want to charge $150 and I charge $450, that's fine, because once he sees my quality, he's going to get what he's paying for.
Yeah. So let's just like, for somebody who is making a decision on what drone to buy, like what would be the questions that you would ask them?
Here's the deal. I just believe so much in the Matrice 30T that I can't even recommend the M3T.
So
because the thing is, by the time you buy all your batteries, you have to, if you want to fly all day with a Mavic 3T, I think you have to have like 7 batteries. And the boogers take long to charge. It takes like 40 to 45 minutes for one to charge. Well, if you go flying, right, they're going to tell you it lasts 30 minutes. I'm telling you right now, it's probably not going to be 30 minutes. That's from like 100% to 0%.
Yep.
There's going to be people telling you, no, I've flown for 30 minutes. Okay, that's fine. I've flown my Matrice 30T for 40 minutes as well, but then it had 0 battery and it was laying on the ground. And so what I'm saying is you have to buy so many batteries. By the time that you get everything, you get your light, you get your batteries, you get your chargers, because you're going to want to have 2 chargers so you can keep up with your batteries. You could just save up another $7,000 and then have the drone that's no questions asked, fly in rain, high winds, up to 45 mile an hour winds, like have a super bright light. You're gonna have all those things. Bigger zoom camera. I'm just gonna keep interrupting you, like,
because I was just gonna say, I saw, like, we did a short this week, a reel or whatever. Yeah. You're out there with a hose. It was raining. It was that day was miserable.
Yeah,
it was already raining and sleet and whatever. You're out there with a
well, me and Austin were making that. I was like, okay, it is nasty out here. Let's just amplify the conditions. Like, okay, I went and got a big leaf blower, tried blowing it away. I thought I could blow it away.
Full power.
Yeah.
Not moving it.
I couldn't blow it away.
We gotta figure out how many blowers do we need to actually move that sucker.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. Because I thought for sure, I mean, it looks crazy. Like, you're spraying water at it, blowing at it. It's like, that is the waterproof, what is that, 5.5?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
It is fantastic.
The deal is, you wouldn't be flying your Matrice in that type of condition.
But if you wanted to,
you could. But
you could.
But it's just to show you what it can take.
It, like, in southern Florida or Alabama, I remember talking a while back to a pilot. I think he had his Part 107, but FEMA would come in during natural disasters, and they would pay like anywhere from $200 to $500 an hour to have a drone in the sky. And if you're getting paid that, I mean,
yeah, you'd
probably fly in some pretty sketchy conditions.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, as long as I can still keep control of my drone,
as long as it's not unsafe.
Yeah,
but it's like, it's nice not to have to worry about a little bit of a light drizzle.
Yeah. It can definitely go through a light drizzle.
So
we're gonna give a Matrice 30T kit away. Have we told people? Well, we told you on the last podcast. If you didn't listen to that, if you haven't seen some of the videos that we've released, we wanna give somebody a complete drone debris recovery kit away. And the best way to enter is to go to the website and buy the merch that Kevin has on. But
it's gonna be wild.
Yeah, there's no purchase necessary. Check out all the details on the website, but that's the easiest way to get in. I'm excited about that. I'm a little nervous about it because you had said that we have to pick a winner on the 31st. Can we say that it's going to be around the 31st? Because that's what the rules say. Because I want to see this. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. So you have other things you're going to be doing, right? Filming that day.
Oh yeah. I'm supposed to be in another state.
Filming a collab and anyway, so we'll have to speak with our legal department on that one.
Anyhow, if you want to get in.
But we're definitely going to give it away. And it's definitely going to be, hopefully to somebody who is wanting. I mean, I think it's awesome. I think it's cool. We get to generate some revenue from the merch, but we weren't doing it for that. It's just like our whole mission is let's help people get set up.
Like, how cool is it going to be if this goes to somebody that, couldn't buy a drone and now comes.
Yep. That's what we want.
Buys a drone and then goes back home and makes money with it. Like, okay.
Yeah. So just getting to be a part of that's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Since I want to give away more stuff, Mike.
Oh boy.
So.
We didn't talk about this, did we?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
So I want to say to people, people who are watching the podcast, I want to say we're going to have cases of bubbler in the back. And if you watch the podcast, we appreciate you. Give us a thumbs up on Apple, Spotify, whatever. Stop in. We're going to give you bubbler. Not a case, but a can.
Oh, at the show.
At the show, yeah. Stop in and say hello.
Kevin,
all of our podcasts.
Thousands of people.
Good. Stop in. I want to give you bubbler until we have none left.
Okay, I was going to say, put a disclaimer on that. Because when there's 5,000 people walking up to you, it's like, it's
I
gone.
mean, I'll have bubbler. It's going to be hidden from display, and only the people that watch the show are going to come up and ask for it. Okay, so you come up. I'm telling you, I don't know why we aren't sponsored by these guys, and they're not going to be at the ATA. If they were, we'd hunt them down and be like, okay, this is literally like we just had a new employee start on Monday.
Yeah,
helping out with the shipping department. It's like part of the training process is. Do you ever need energy that's healthy? I'm telling you, bubbler is where it's at.
Yep. It's only 65 milligrams, so it's not very much.
And there's no sugar.
Yep.
So
no,
it's good for you. It's like instead of taking your
no
vitamins.
sugar, and it's not what is that?
Like no
sugar.
Sucralose or corn syrup or all this other crap. Nope, it's nothing but the good stuff.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Wow, that was a pitch for bubbler.
I just made that up, but it's like I think it'd be fun to give a bunch of that stuff away.
We got to order another pallet full because we're getting.
Yeah, because that's how we order here. Is literally by the pallet.
We have to. I mean, why else would you?
I don't know.
Go?
It's like we could literally not afford it if it wasn't by the pallet.
No.
So.
Yep. What else about the Expos? Let's give them where we're going to be at again, so we know. Exactly. Do you have like the? I know the one is the Michiana Event Center in Shipshewana, Indiana.
Let's start. The first one is next week. That's the one in Ohio.
Okay.
That is at the Northeast Ohio Sportsman Show. It's in Mount Hope.
Mount Hope.
That is close to where we live. That's like 15, 20 minutes away. So we'll have this booth set up there. Be out there. That's from the 17th to the 20th. And then we have the Great American Outdoor Show, which I think is the one in Indiana.
No, that's in Harrisburg, PA.
Oh, that's the big one in Harrisburg, PA.
Yep. I think that's like a 7.
Yeah, that is from February 2 to February 11. So,
okay.
We'll be at that one. After that, we have the Midwest Sportsman Classic.
That's in Indiana.
February 15 to 17th.
No, that's not in Indiana.
I think it is.
It is?
I think so. Shipshewana.
Okay. Yep. That's the one.
So.
Yeah, that's the one where I'm supposed to do a seminar.
You say supposed to. That's the one where you will do a seminar.
I'm doing a seminar. Leave your comments here to let me know what you would want to hear if you are coming to that show. It is going to be I'm going to share, where the company started, where we're going, what we've accomplished, that type of thing. But then I want to open it up to Q&A because I want to talk with you. Like if you have a question, let's try to answer.
Yeah,
it,
yep.
So.
That's some of the getting people answers to the stuff that they actually want. That's some of the best. It's the most helpful content. It's the best content. And I mean, that's what we're here to do is make things that are helpful. So I'm even asking Austin, let's do some podcasts where we do nothing but field calls and let's answer the actual questions and have you call in live or whatever. And I think if we could do that, I mean, that would be so helpful and that'd be awesome for people. So
I agree.
We get to do it live at shows, so we'll at least do that.
Yeah, that'll be my first live talking in front of a bunch of people in Indiana. So we'll see how it goes.
and then let's just say beyond the shows that we've mentioned, we may add some more. We'll announce them when we do. But also, we're going to be going to farm shows. We
want to go to farm shows. Those boogers are busy and they're packed, like full.
Yeah.
Like we can hardly get in. So if you know how to get in, let us know.
If you know of a farm show we should be to or we should go to,
that too.
Let us know and we're gonna send at least a couple of them, right? And
we're gonna try, but the problem is the ones we've already filled out, we can't get in.
Oh yeah, no way.
Yeah, they're that
So
busy.
Mike, we gotta literally set this up outside in the parking lot, set up the trailer.
We'll set up our own show, right? Like if you guys want to see this stuff, like we'll just say we'll be outside of Columbus in this field.
It would be awesome to do like live demonstrations and stuff. That's what really sells. That these buggers can actually spray.
Oh yeah. Once you see it in person, I'm telling you.
And then other shows that we're going to be doing this year, redoing the booth, pet. We're going to be going to pet shows. And Austin
is going to go to pet shows.
Yeah, and
Drone Pet Recovery. If you guys haven't seen
that's becoming a thing.
Yeah, go to the YouTube channel and check that out. If you have a pet or you know somebody that has a pet, have them check it out because it is pretty cool. It's a whole separate, division, just focusing on people's pets.
And man, recovery. they good videos.
Oh yeah,
good recoveries. Finding dogs that. These owners are losing hope.
Yep.
It's like, where is this dog? So, yeah, super excited about that.
Yep, I agree. Okay, we're going to wrap it up right there, folks. Thanks so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. I hope you come by, say hello at the show. Let's talk, and we'll see you guys out in the field.
Yeah, cannot wait to meet you guys.
Alrighty. On to the next one.
On to the next one.